Hi, this is Darius of Into the Mantle. Wanted to do an inventory and a cataloging of my vintage Colecovision and Atari game system and games. The Atari adapter is not accessible at the moment, so I just wanted to show the console. This is the Colecovision game system with the two joysticks, and this is where the cartridge goes. This is the reset button, on-off switch. This is where the Atari adapter goes, inserts on the front of there. I will address the many joysticks and accessories in a second video. And here's the first treasure trove, the video game center. And we can look at the individual cartridges and get into all the various games that we have. Where you would command a central ship and you would fire in all directions, not unlike Robotron. Word Zapper, sort of a spelling game. Turbo was similar to Pole Position, and it actually, there was an accessory for ColecoVision, a steering wheel. Make sure you can see that. And I will get to the accessories for ColecoVision and Atari in a separate video. Cubert. Here we have Outlaw, a very primitive game. Very blocky figures in this game. Pixelated. Frontline, this was another trackball game. Spider-Man. Sequest, that was a fun game. Spider Fighter, Venture, and I believe this is the one made for ColecoVision, not Atari. Indy 500, this was another game that you could play with the steering wheel accessory. Laser Blast, of course we have Frogger. Cosmic Arc for Atari. Berserk. Now I have two versions of Carnival. One is for ColecoVision, and the second is for ColecoVision Atom. Actually, this is the Atari 2600 version. Commando Raid, this is similar to Laser Blast. One of my personal favorites, Mousetrap. The Elusive Adventures of Tron. Which is not a perennial favorite, but amusing nonetheless. Jukebox. I don't recall exactly what that involved. MASH. Freeway, which was sort of a takeoff on Frogger, except involving chickens. Star Master. Entombed. Illusions, which was a strange game. One of my all-time favorites, Zaxxon. Barnstorming. That's another Activision game. Haunted House. Ladybug. Flash Gordon. Combat, which was the game involving tanks. You could also play different games with the cartridge involving biplanes or jet fighters. I don't know if you can read that. Tank Pong, Invisible Tank, Biplane, Jet Fighter. Pitfall 2, Lost Caverns. This was also made by Activision. Fathom was a game involving mermaids and dolphins. Rather unusual. Fraction Fever, that was a math practice program made by Spinnaker. This is one of the accessory joysticks, plate covers for the game Frontline made by Taito. Crypts of Chaos, and the much maligned Raiders of the Lost Ark. We'll get to other more maligned games in the collection later. The very basic Atari Golf. Let me set this aside and get into the other treasure chest here. Okay, these are the double-ended cartridges, sort of rare. Chuck Norris Super Kicks and Artillery Duel. Ghost's Manor and Spike's Peak, made by Zonox. Okay, here's the second treasure chest of Atari and Colecovision games. I want to start with Destructor. This, as I recall, also used a trackball in gameplay. The classic Activision game, Stampede. Another Activision game, Ice Hockey. Mega Mania. Keystone Capers. Looks like some blemishes on there. Omega Race. This also involved the trackball, I believe. Smurf. Video Checkers. Of course, Empire Strikes Back. Heist, made by Microphone. Blueprint. I recall that cartridge did not have much staying power. I believe it became unusable very quickly. Telly Turtle, I believe that was a drawing program. War Games, based on the movie, starring Matthew Broderick. Gopher. Okay, moving on, we have the sports games. This is football, and the sports games, football and baseball, required special controllers, and I can get to that in the second video when we address all of the accessories. Surround. Looping, which was a flying game. And here we have Buck Rogers, Planet of Zoom. Grog's Revenge. Antarctic Adventure. Getting into some of my favorites here. Subrock, involving submarines and torpedoes. And the classic Defender. And this was actually manufactured by Sears. Porky's, based on the film. Miner 2049er. And we have the classics Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong Jr. Facemaker, which was another drawing program. The very much maligned E.T. for Atari 2600, and actually I would play this using the Atari adapter plugged directly into the Colecovision front. Troll, based on the film. Slither, which also used trackball. Bongo Bongo. Dr. Seuss Fix Up the Mix-Up Puzzler. Amudar. Crystal Castles. And finally, Space Jockey. Hope you enjoyed the taking of inventory, and I will get to some more games and some of the accessories in a second video. Thank you.